Okay. Hey guys, it's Star Moon. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to take a few minutes just to pick up on the energies and let people come if they want to come. If not, I will continue. All right. Is it even 8:30? Oh, 1 minute. I'm going to go ahead and pull a spread for current energies, as in what are people dealing with right now. It is March. It's about to be Aries season. So that's going to be a shift. Is it even? What is today? Is it almost Aries season? So, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure there's a full moon in Aries, especially where I live in Texas. There's gonna be a full moon in Aries on the 13th of March, and so just numerology in general is significant. But I just wanted to pull spreads about the current energies and talk about houses. So current energies right now, we have the High Priestess reverse. Okay. We have the Five of Pentacles reverse. Sorry if it's not gonna zoom in. The Ten of Swords reverse. And then the Father of Wands reverse. And so the energy right now is, again, like, I'm not even going to look at the spiritual. This is mental and your physical. So in your mental, we have pentacles, and in your physical, you have swords. And so there is a flip-flopping of energy, right? And so understanding that the energy right now is actually an energy that is opposite to yours is a better way to function within the energy, right? Because we can't change the energy of the world, but we can alter our energy to better match it, right? And so Five of Pentacles reverse is, again, being attached to another thought from someone else or from something else, right? And with the Ten of Swords reverse, it's like it's not getting the point. It's like stabbing yourself with a knife and being like, oh shit, that hurt. And it's like, of course it hurt, because spiritually, in your spiritual section with the King of Wands reverse, this is not actively going towards things, not actively using your knowledge to know that if I touch a sword or a knife, that is going to hurt, right? And so that energy is the High Priestess reverse. This can be like, it's those awkward moments, right? It's those silent moments that seem so loud, They seem so loud, but yet you know it's a silent moment. But because it seems loud, it's awkward. So there's a label put on something. And so whatever that label was put on it, that's the energy that it vibrates from. And then again, whatever your perspective of that energy is, again, a different vibration, right? Like, what's the game? Telephone. We always used to play. Okay. I really don't feel like I need to clarify that because I feel like that was a very clear message. I'm going to pull just a couple more, 3 more cards to see what people need to be aware of, what energy needs to be aware of, and just see. Because again, like, it's a flip-flopping energy. Bottom of the deck, we have the Death card. I wonder if that'll work. In the first position, we have the Strength card. Second position, we got the 9 of Cups reversed, and then we have the Queen of Swords. This energy is, again, a strong energy of knowing something is not right, not feeling like you have the strength to withhold it, again, because with the 9 of Cups being in the physical realm, this is a very strong emotional pull. But again, in the mental, we're like, but I can't resist this. So there is something that that hurts you, but yet you continue to stay. This is the type of energy. What's underneath the Death card? Like, that's a frustrating energy, because why would you do that to yourself, right? The Death card, wow, Judgment. The Sun. Look at all these major arcanas and the 8 of Pentacles. Nine of Swords on the bottom, because right in front of that was the Star. So the energies that need to be understood that people are dealing with, either you or people outside of you, in which could be still affecting you, right? Especially if like, there's something that right? So there is a want for a transformation, a need for a transformation. Again, you cannot change an energy. You cannot change an energy, but you can alter your energy. Therefore, an energy can be altered, right? And knowing that with the Judgment here, it's like, what is something that keeps coming up about something you're just like, no, I love this, person, place, or thing, it doesn't matter, take your pick, right? And so with the Sun card here, it's like your ego is literally playing games with you, and your ego is you. And so it's like you're playing games with yourself. Again, what does that translate to? Self-doubt. Because there is this intense want and desire to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, work, more work with some work inside of some work. Like, work, right? This is the energy of something needs to change. It's like there's work that needs to be done. And it's like, what needs to be worked on? What in this moment right now is so dire that if you don't fix it right now, is going to fall tomorrow. And a majority of people, if you take a second, would be like, nothing. Like, I don't have to do anything right this exact moment. Being I think might happen. And so it's like, this is ego energy. Okay? The star, right? This is Aquarius energy. Am I saying that Aquariuses are egotistical? No, I'm not going to say that. But this is showing you that, again, the way that you work internally is your ego. So the way that you think, the way that you think about the way you feel, but yet you still move forward with backward actions, that is ego. So if I am going to tell you that I make a badass chocolate cake, but when it comes time for the bake sale and I'm like, you know what? I didn't have that chocolate, but I made a badass vanilla cake, that frosting though. And the person's like, well, I already told everybody about the chocolate cake. Everybody was so ready for this chocolate, and like they get in their emotions about it. Like they were just ready for a slice of that chocolate cake. And it's like, I told you, like people, you have to be careful with what you say and what you hear. But again, that's just my perspective. And so, how do you work internally? How do you hear things, right? How do you process things? Because right now is the time to know, because the way that you're working, again, with these swords, with the Queen of Swords here, is actually hurting you. And you don't even know, because it's just something that you're used to. So it's time to look at this card. Death, judgment. What is that? The sun. And so it's like, it's Scorpio. What would judgment be? That would be, for me, again, that would be a very Scorpio, like Capricorn type energy. But if I had to put one on it, judgment. Wow, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I might say Sagittarius, and that is out of ego, not out of ego, because I am a Sagittarius moon. But like Sagittarius is a sign of philosophy, and so like if you learn about something, then you can put judgment on something. If you're with something, you can put judgment on it. And so it's like understanding that we all put judgment on things because we all have all the signs within us. It's like, oh, so I could talk shit about somebody and it be okay, and somebody talk shit about me and I don't have to get mad and try and go fight them. Yes, that is okay. And so a deep knowledge of understanding that, and again, of your own chart, is very helpful because it has helped me. And so, speaking of houses, I just want to pull one of each of these cards. Well, that's not an oracle card. And so we have positivity, faith, and optimism. Look, Leo. Doesn't that look like Sagittarius energy? Again, if you know the zodiac or the tarot cards. I'm really just going to have to put this in my face, I guess, and just deal with it. See, I don't like that. I apologize. Ooh. Father healing. Poseidon just chilling there. Your personal power increases as you give any father-related issues to heaven. So, what is father energy? Whoever taught you, whoever you learned how to deal with your emotions, how to do things. Again, gender does not matter. Okay? That is a beautiful fucking girl. And it looks like, I apologize. I don't know the name. I don't know if this is a male or a female mer person in this bubble right here, but their back is facing us. I don't know. That's interesting. All right. And we have food and hunger from the past lives. And so it's like being the past lives deck, it's like maybe there is a sense of lack of sustained lack, like poverty that you're feeling within some type of emotion. Again, it doesn't have to be like actual financial poverty. It could be a lacking in a masculine energy. And so if you feel that you lack a masculine energy, another way to look at it could be that you were actually brought in front of that masculine energy to show you what not to be, right? And so it's like, oh, instead of being like, oh, woe with me that I'm here, it's like, well, let's think about it. You were here, so you already learned that lesson. So let's go ahead and check that off the list and keep traveling down the line. This one came out reverse. Our Lady of the Abundant Garden, number 38. And it's the fourth card. 38 for me would be a feeling of creation and actually doing that creation and then some, and like rocking it. Okay. And so when it's in reverse, like this could be an energy that is just felt like, I am not an abundant garden. I'm not a lady of an abundant garden. And so I cannot bear the fruit of whatever type of bush or tree situation I'm trying to bear something from. Like I can't get anything from this. And so it's like, you need to be a little bit more optimistic and figure out what it is that is holding you back from doing and enjoying what your feelings are telling you. Because we could easily just say this is an Empress card. It's the Mother Mary deck, right? And Father healing. So we're going to just put a pin in our emotions and kind of sit back and look at where those breadcrumbs are, right? Where is this pain coming from? All right, so I wanted to just talk about the houses for a little bit. And of course, if anybody wants to join for free readings, I'm a horrible person, not really, but I have changed a lot of stuff like on my website and even my YouTube channel. And so please like, share, and subscribe to my new channel if you don't mind. If you do, it's okay. But concerning houses, I can do this now. Concerning houses, understanding the zodiac, that there are 12 houses, and knowing which zodiac sign the house represents, like Aries being one, Taurus, what is it? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra. So like knowing the 12, and it's really easy, just print it out or write it down and just Put it on the wall and look at it every once in a while. Just go and read it and be like, and then put numbers next to it and be like, oh, Aries is 1, Taurus is 2, Scorpio is 8, Sagittarius is 9, Virgo is 6. And so you'll better associate things that you see whenever you're looking at things in, honestly, like a tarot reading, right? Again, because the months matter. There's 3 months every quarter. So that even relates to business. And so it's like, how do things relate? And it's understanding how things relate. And so understanding that the first house deals with Aries, and it is the rising house, the rising or the ascendant, that whatever is in this house, whatever sign is in the rising, it's gonna be backed by some fire, right? And so it's like fire, right? Like that's it. If you're Aries rising, you got some fire behind you. That's it. You are a Taurus rising, you got some not so much fire, but you are steadfast in how you go about things. And it can be a challenge to change that, right? If you are a Cancer rising, it can be very hard for you to approach situations and let go of past experiences that you have held onto emotionally, but have no relation to now. And so knowing the energy of the house and the energy of the zodiac sign really, really matters. So just staying with the first house, again, it's a fire. So as I was going down the line, you could tell like the main point was how you approach things. That's how I look at the rising sign. How you come about things and kind of like how you're initially seen. Because again, it's the first house. It's the initial spark. It's not the fire. It's the thing that starts the fire. And so it's like the thought, like, I want ice cream. Like right before you start to move, that's what it is, because it's right after the thought. And so it's like, it's very quick. And so whatever is in this house is going to be affected by quick energy. Water is going to be, if you have air and fire, you could possibly create a fire tornado, right? Like people could see you as a fire tornado. If it's earth, again, very solid, steady, and determined. Those are not bad words, but it also could translate to very stubborn-headed and not wanting to relate. So it's either not wanting to relate, not understanding how to relate, right? And so if you can go, it's online, it's free. I offer it as a service. If, again, you don't want to do the research about it, that's why I offer this, because I love this shit. And breaking down my chart has helped me become a better person by just realizing that who I am is who I am. And that if I want to alter my energy to better coexist, not only with my Cancer energy, the stuff that I hold dear to me, I can also do it with the world energies, the area that I live in energies. And so what are in your houses? Because your first house is your true self, how you go about things. Don't ever pass up on your first house. Okay. Don't ever pass up on your first house. Second house is Taurus, what you value internally, like inside. I value my belongings. I value my conversation. I value my job. I value this golden Fabergé egg. It doesn't matter what it is. I value my children. I value my parents. Whatever that is, I value having an apartment by myself. That's that second house energy. It's not necessarily Taurus energy. Okay. But it's second house energy, because Taurus can embrace it, but it's not Taurus energy. What am I saying? What else was I saying? Taurus, Cancer, Taurus, Gemini. Ooh. Again, air and fire. Picture a fire tornado. I don't know why I keep going to that, because it's a strong energy. That's why. But the third house is Gemini. It is communication. It's how you communicate, and it's not only the way communication happens, it's actually what happens before, during, and after that communication happened and occurred, And so it's like, I am talking with speech, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing I'm communicating. You can read between the lines, so to speak, right? And so that is Gemini third house energy. Again, I should stop saying Gemini and just say third house, right? It's third house energy. The fourth house is related to Cancer. And so Cancer energy is about things you really care for. And like, if it left, you'd care. If something happened, you'd care. Okay. Fourth house, Cancer energy. This is also the feminine energy. So like motherly type energy. It doesn't necessarily have to deal with the gender mom, the actual female mom. It can deal with anybody who either who gave and received, who you exchanged love with. Love in all types of form, because love can be ugly and it can be beautiful. So you have to put yourself wherever you are, right? The fifth house, again, comes with a Leo energy. The fifth house deals with like childness, the fun, the creativity. This is the ego. This is what you are after you have experienced losing stuff, people, places, and things. After you've experienced loss, you have reached your ego. The Leo, the fifth house. Okay. Virgo. This is, again, a big energy for me specifically. That's probably why I talk about it so much, because this is also relating back to Gemini energy, with the number 6. But Virgo energy is about how you think, how you function, and how you prevent. How you think, how you function, and how you present. Okay. And so I like to call it my health, wealth, and stealth house, because again, if you don't know what you're doing, you can't do it to prevent the adverse outcome, right? The 7th house deals with Libra energy. This is air. This is air energy. And this house is about the energy of things that are right for you. That is how I interpret it, right? Like, how does this red sweater look on you? Well, how does this green sweater look on you? How does this blue sweater look on you? Now, we've seen you in all these 3 sweaters. Which one do you like? And so it's like you have an option to make a decision. Again, what is right for you? So planets that are in this house, you may have difficulty coming to a decision concerning the energy of the planets that are in this 7th house. All right. Because again, 7th house for me is your interpersonal connections. And that could be a lot of things, coworkers and stuff like that, extended family. It could even be your family. It depends on how you function and how you move, right? It depends on how you Virgo. And so going to the 8th house, dealing with Scorpio energy, again, this mysterious, deep, dark energy is Scorpio. And this is like dealing straight up with like death, taxes, and anything else that is left. And so it's like whatever is left from a loss or a transformation or a transition is Scorpio, like, is the 8th house. It's not Scorpio, is the 8th house. And so again, if you're a Scorpio in the 8th house, depending on where, if you have another Scorpio placement, right, it kind of like emphasizes it. So a Scorpio, look, let's be like deep, right? A Scorpio moon in the 8th house would be somebody who, like, number one, they'd be fucking psychic as fuck. Like, they could have the potential to be, right? But this person would like really feel things on a deeper level. And so depending on their demeanor, they could either take a joke or not take a joke, right? And that joke that they could take, they might come back with one that's even darker than what you thought was dark, and they serve it to you and you're like, oh shit, like that's some Scorpio, like 8th house, like deep water, moon, fucking Cancer energy. Like, you have nowhere to go. Again, not always a bad thing. Some people like that, some people don't. Depends on the placements. 9th house is Sagittarius energy. But again, this also does, for me personally, bring in some Scorpio energy, not only because they're close, but because philosophy is about learning. And so once you learn something, you kind of transition your mental, whatever it involves, to better come into alignment with what you are trying to vibrate with, what you're trying to understand, right? And so the 9th house will, whatever the planets in the 9th house are, will explain to you how you think about things. I'm an audio visual person. Like, I'm really good with videos. I can read. Reading's fine. I love reading, but you also give me something to listen to. Like, I love music. Like, that's how I pick up information, how I pick up stuff. Other people can like to be like in a silent room and it'll be okay. But I'm that person too. I can be in a silent room. And it's like, how is that influencing? How is the zodiac sign within the house influencing your learning about things? Because this is also a fire house. So if you have, again, it doesn't matter your placement. It matters about how you handle it. So it can be very erratic. It can just be hot and cold, or it could just be a steady burn. Again, it depends. How are you affecting that house? The 10th house is Capricorn. And so, like, this is how you are seeing your success, what your work, your job, again, what you do, whatever masculine energy you put out there, what it makes you look like, right? And so, again, Capricorn energy is business. It is structure. It is plans. So this house, things that are in this house are going to deal with a structure, a plan of something. And so Capricorn energy also brings in the devil from the tarot card, and Saturn is karma. And so it's like, again, it could be looked at in a positive or a negative way. This happened because this needed to happen and this wasn't happening, and so you can either get mad at something happened, but it's like you had time to prepare and prevent the domino from falling, but yet you stood there and watched the domino fall. So when the last domino fall, you can't stand back and be like, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Couldn't you have stopped the dominoes at least part of the way to save some part of the energy within this 10th house? That is the energy. I hope that relates. The 11th house, again, 11, 1, 1, right, is Aquarius energy. And it's about how you work internally. How do things function inside you? And so planets that are going to be in this house are going to, again, affect you internally and how things work with you internally. And so this is an air planet. And so how does the air affect these element of the planets that are in that house? And once you, like, again, for me, because I'm a visual person, you put it on paper and you see it, or again, you go listen to some videos, you do something that you can, that the way that you understand, so you can relate to it, so you can see how your energy works. And I want to say sometimes, but a lot of the time, like 95% of the time, again, depending not on how big your ego is, because you can have a big ego and still know how to use it, right? And so, like, depending on how put together your ego is, like, you don't hate your ego, you're friends with your ego, you got have coffee with your ego, you know, like, you work with your ego. I forgot even the point of saying that because I wanted to get that point across. Like, it's working with the ego, you know, because again, the ego is a projection, the projection that we send out. And so it's like, if you go through your houses, understand how they progress, and then how your planet placements progress through the chart, you will understand yourself better. That's what I was saying. It can be hard because, again, depending on the ego, you need to be humble, because there's always going to be something good and bad in the chart. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm a Capricorn sun. People might look down on that. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't tell them that, and then they see me do something, they're like, oh, you're the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I have a lot of fire. And so it relates. And so understanding yourself, know thyself, so you can be a better person for yourself, so that you can, what is the word I want to use? Because we are always on cycles, so it's going to be impossible to not go in a down period. Because if you refuse to go in the down period, you'll be okay after the first, second, third cycle, however many times you're good at saving face, right? You'll go. But that moment that you're fucking tired and you actually do fall, it's gonna fucking hurt. So love yourself, have compassion with yourself, and check out your houses, because they're pretty fucking interesting. And nobody has a glass house. Nobody. I don't have a glass house. You're not gonna see all my shit. Well, you can't, because again, we have energy like Scorpio energy. Did I even say? I didn't say the 12th house. See, Pisces energy. The 12th house deals with everything outside of you. Everything outside of you, not your energy, but everything outside of you and how you work it with it. So I spoke about it, but I didn't label it as Pisces energy, but that is 12th house energy. Like psychic, intuitive, I already know. Like, it's all right here. Everything is here for you. You just got to grab at it. So it's always fun to study the 12th house if you have placements in the 12th house. If you don't, that's not a bad thing. I used to think it was a bad thing, but it's not. So if you don't know about something, research something, find out about something. And if you don't want to do that, ask somebody. That's where commerce and the functionality of the world really has come about. And so it's like, it's okay to join in the world, because it's going. So, hope you guys have a great night. Please like, share, subscribe. Visit my website, starmoonlove.com. And until next time, Chiron and Gemini, much love and Asé.